New York is a city that never sleeps. That might not include the Knicks right now. You don't want to go to sleep when it's a nightmare. Monday's blowout loss to the lowly Mavs was New York's 9th in 11 games. This is a team that won the NBA Cup but is now in a deep slumber. It's gotten so bad that Knicks captain Jalen Brunson called a players-only meeting. Answers have to come fast because New York hosts the Nets tonight as we say hello to our friend Tim Bontemps. So Tim, things have been rough out there in New York for the Knicks. They're getting booed at MSG by Knicks fans mid-game. How can they try to turn this thing around?
Well, they could start, Christine, by winning this game tonight against the Nets, a tanking team near the bottom of the standings. A team like the Dallas Mavericks, who they got blown out by on their home court on Monday, leading to those boos and leading to more questions about where the Knicks are headed, as they're now 2-9 in their last 11 games coming into this game during rivalry week tonight at MSG. And the biggest thing that has to change, Christine, is this team's defense. The Knicks have not hit shots over the last few weeks. That's going to happen at times over the course of the season. The Knicks are an excellent offensive team. Normally, I expect them to start hitting shots. But if this team wants to achieve its ambitions of being a realistic NBA Finals contender, even before this slide, they were 16th in the league in defense. And over the last couple of weeks, as they've gone 2-11 in these last 11 games, they are 28th in the league in defense. The only teams worse, the Nets and the Utah Jazz, two teams that obviously are at the opposite end of the standings to where the Knicks want to be. So they need to start guarding better. They need to start making shots. They need to start playing with the requisite energy, and that all needs to start tonight at home against the Nets team that they certainly should go out and take care of business against.
All right, we'll see if they're able to turn things around starting tonight against the Nets. Tim, thank you. All right, for a player's perspective on the Knicks, we welcome in Danny Green. So, Danny, when you heard that Jalen Brunson called a players-only meeting after that loss to the Mavs, what did you think?
I thought it was necessary, absolutely necessary. They need it. This is a team. Of course, we've seen in the history that after you go to the Cup final or win the Cup, teams kind of take a dive. They were playing well. They're playing fine. And now they're kind of showing some fatigue. They had some injuries. Josh Hart has been out. Jalen Brunson's been out. But there's no excuse for losing at home against the Dallas Mavericks team without Anthony Davis. So the maturity, the lack of thereof, they need to show that and show the veteranship that they have in this group, because this is not a young team anymore. This is a veteran team with a veteran coaching staff. So this players' meeting was very much necessary. They needed a reset. They need to hash some things out, the things that's going on the court and off the court, and figure it out, because they need to make it to All-Star break with somewhat of a winning or being above 500 record from here on out.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing after that NBA Cup championship. So we'll see if they're able to turn it around going into tonight's game, coming off of 4 straight losses. So when you watch the Knicks play, what stands out to you as the issue?
I mean, to me, the main thing is just their approach. And like Tim was mentioning, their defense, that starts with their approach. A lot of it's communication, hustling, and getting back on defense. There's so many transition, not matching up mistakes. Offensively, you're going to miss shots. But to me, as I said, it's a combination of all the above, but it starts with your mental approach. They are the clear favorites in the East. Most people have them as that. And they're just coming out acting like it, but not playing like it. You got to come in and play like you're the number one or the clear favorites of the East. They just think they're going to show up and do it. That's not what's going to happen here. Any given night in this association, you know you can lose to anybody. That's including the Dallas Mavericks, the Charlotte Hornets, whoever steps on that floor. If you don't bring your A game, you can't just think you're going to win games because you showed up. You got to start playing like you're the clear favorites and the number one team in the East, and not think it's going to happen on its own.
Yeah, you guys mentioned their struggles on defense. They're also bottom 5 in the league in offense. All right, let's head to the NBA, where Jonathan Kuminga played for the first time since December 18th, scoring 20 points in 21 minutes in the Warriors' blowout loss to the Raptors. He's been in head coach Steve Kerr's doghouse and asked for a trade, but he is needed now that Jimmy Butler is done for the season. Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy spoke last night about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the demand, I'm aware of that. I think when in terms of demands, when you make a demand, there needs to be demand on the market. So we'll see where that unfolds. But heard, always with these guys, I tell them I'm willing to work with them, want to help people out, whether that's JK or any player on our roster. So we're good with, if that's his wishes, trying to figure that out. But we got to do what's best for our organization, and that's what we'll do. And as far as it goes with the deadline coming up, I think we'll take the next couple of weeks to assess this team a little bit more. I felt pretty good with where we're at heading into last night's game in terms of what we need to do. I thought our team was playing really well, heading in the right direction. Obviously, things have changed, so I want to take a couple of weeks here to watch these games and see our team and what we can do better.
All right, Danny Green is back to talk about it. So thinking about everything that has happened, Kuminga asked for a trade. Jimmy Butler goes down. He has a shifty relationship with Steve Kerr. How would you approach this situation if you're Kuminga?
I mean, we're two different players, but I'd expect him to come in like a professional and say, still have that mindset of, I'm not here for you guys, I'm here for me. And it could be a FU type situation, but you got to go out and ball regardless. You got to show what you can do. You got to prove that not only to the group that you're with, but the other groups around the league. There's 29 other teams. Every time you step on that floor, you're interviewing for a job. And that's with your group for minutes or other people around you, other organizations looking at you. So if you want a trade and be where you want to be and be happy, you got to show the other people around the league that you are what you say you are and show that your contract is one of a steal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a cheap deal. So you got to come in and ball out. And last night he did that. He had 20 and 5 in 21 minutes. He only played 5 minutes in the first half, but he's produced and he's showing production. He's got to continue to do that and show that he's a valuable piece, not for the organization that you're currently with, but other organizations around you that you want to be with.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective, but let's go to the other side. How should the Warriors approach the Kuminga situation with their roster, knowing obviously that Butler is out for the rest of the season?
Kind of the same. It's one and the same. They got to come in and they need him, so they got to play him. And if you want to also trade him, you only got 2 weeks. You got to build up his value as much as possible, especially if you want what you want in return. You got to make sure that you hold him at a high value if you want to get some high value in return. So if you're trying to trade him before deadline, cool, but you don't have a lot of time. And if you want to wait till the summertime, fine. But you got to build this player up. We also got to allow him to help you win. Everybody can use a young athletic wing that can score the basketball. Jonathan Kuminga is that kid that can do that for this group and for any other group out there. So if you want to keep your hopes alive of being in playoff contention and keeping Steph Curry there and a little more happy and kind of be in that talk, you got to uplift and kind of develop this young player and allow him to, to have this opportunity to help your group.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that situation. I want to go out east for another relationship that's a little rocky. The one between Giannis and the Bucks. They snapped a 3-game losing streak on Monday, but there are a lot of issues with that team. What do you think the right play is for Giannis?
Just keep doing what he's doing. I know everybody's talking about you got to sit out and demand a trade and get out of there. No, be a professional. Keep hooping. You're an MVP caliber player. Keep playing like it, showing everybody that you're still that guy because you're talented enough to keep this team afloat and also win games and be above 500, especially in the East. You could be a top 6 seed or at least be in a play-in, but you should be a top 6, 7 seed in the East and be in the playoffs with this group because you're that good. So Giannis, just keep showing up, doing what you're doing, and the chips will fall when they're supposed to fall, and you'll end up where you're supposed to be when the time comes. But as of right now, you're a Milwaukee Buck and continue to represent that city and that jersey the right way.
All right, so a reminder for Giannis and Kuminga, the trade deadline, February 5th, just over 2 weeks away. Danny, thank you very much.
Thank you.
NBA,